Hello students, in this particular lecture we are going to discuss about quality control test for container closure and secondary packing material. So packing, first of all we have already discussed about it, quality control test for pharmaceuticals. So these are the tests which are carried out on the dosage forms, and whatever the packaging material we are going to pack our final dosage form, that also must be checked, that also must be tested. So here we are going to discuss about the quality control test for the packaging material. So what are packaging material, what are primary, secondary, tertiary packaging material, this we will discuss, and what are the quality control tests for the containers and closures. So here, what is packing material? So any material that is used for packing a product for their distribution and sale is said to be packaging material. So primary packing material, secondary packing material. So primary packing material is the material which is in direct contact with the dososome. For example, bottles, vials, ampoules, tin, etc. Second packing material used to cover primary packs, for example, cartons, boxes, etc. So now quality control test for glass containers. So three types of packing materials are there. First is glass, plastic and metal. So for glass, first test is powder glass test done to estimate the amount of alkali leached from the powdered glass, which usually happens at elevated temperature. So sample containers, they are rinsed with purified water and then dried. The containers are grinded in a mortar to a fine powder and passed through sieve number 20 and 50. Then 10 gram of the sample is washed with acetone and dried. 50 ml of purified water is added to the dried sample and autoclaved at 121 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes and cooled and decanted. Decanted liquid is titrated with 0.02 normal H2SO4 using methyl red as an indicator. So second test is hydrolytic resistance of glass container. So each container is rinsed at least 3 times with carbon dioxide free water and filled with the same to their filling volume. Then vials and bottles are covered and autoclaved at 100 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. The temperature is risen from 100 to 121 degrees centigrade over 20 minutes. Temperatures is maintained from 121 to 120 for 60 minutes. These containers are then cooled and liquid are combined and volume measured. Then it is titrated with 0.01 molar HCl using methyl red as an indicator. So these are the limitations which are given in this table according to the capacity of the container. Then arsenic test. So this test is for glass container intended for aqueous parenterals. So inner and outer surface of the container is washed with fresh distilled water for 5 minutes. Then similar steps are followed as performed in the hydrolytic test previously described till obtaining the final combined solution. After that, 10 ml from the final combined volume is pipetted out and to it 10 ml of the HNO3 is added and dried in oven at 130 degrees centigrade. After this, 10 ml of hydrogen molybdenate acid added and refluxed for 25 minutes. Then it is cooled. Absorbance is measured at 840 nanometer in the visible range, and absorbance of the test solution should be less than the absorbance obtained with 0.1 ml of arsenic standard solution of the strength 10 ppm. Then come for the test for plastic container for non-parenteral use. The first is leakage test. For this, 10 containers are filled with water and fitted with intended closure. They are kept inverted at room temperature for 24 hours. The test is said to be passed if there is no sign of leakage from any container. Second is collapsibility test. This test is applicable to containers which are to be squeezed in order to remove the content. So a container by collapsing inward during use yield at least 90% of its normal content at the required rate of flow at ambient temperature. Then clarity of aqueous test extract. A suitable container is taken at random and unlabeled, unmarked and non-laminated portions is selected. These portions are cut into strips, none of which has a total surface area of 20 centimeter square. The strips are washed free from extraneous matter by shaking them with at least 2 separate portions of distilled water for about 30 seconds. The processed sample is taken into flask previously cleaned with chromic acid and rinsed with distilled water. 250 ml of distilled water is added to the flask, covered and autoclaved at 121 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes, and the extract is cooled and examined. It should be colorless and free from turbidity. Then quality control test for closures. first preparation of sample. For this, the closures are washed in 0.2% weight by volume of the anionic surface active agent for 5 minutes. Rinsed 5 times with distilled water and 200 ml water is added. Subjected to autoclave at 119 degrees centigrade to 123 degrees centigrade for 20 to 30 minutes, covering with aluminum foil. Cooled and solution separated from closer. So this is solution A. Then residue on evaporation. 50 ml of solution is evaporated to dryness on a water bath and dried at 105 degrees centigrade. The residue weighs not more than 4 milligram. Second, sterilization test. The closures used for preparation of sample solution shall not soften or become tacky, and there shall be no visual change in the closure. pH of aqueous extract to 20 ml of the solution A, 0.1 ml of bromothymol blue solution is added. Not more than 0.3 ml of 0.01 molar NaOH or 0.8 ml of 0.01 molar HCl is required to change the color of the solution to blue or yellow respectively. Then self-sealability test. Pierce 10 times with hypodermic needle immersed in 0.01% methylene blue solution and subjected to a pressure of about 27 kilopascal. Restored to atmospheric pressure and made to stand for 30 minutes. Traces of colored solution should not be found. Next is quality control test for cartons. So first is compression used to assess the strength of the erected package, thereby eliminating the degree of protection that it confirms on the content. This is useful for the product with no inherent strength in one plane or another. Carton opening force. The carton should spring open into its original shape without a need for unreasonable force. So if the carton does not spring open or buckles in on its, then cause problem on cartooning machine. Now quality control test for paper and board. Temperature is 23 plus minus 1 degree centigrade. Relative humidity is 50 plus minus 2 degree. So here first is moisture content. All the substances will be measured at temperature specified for test. Folding endurance. Fold the test piece back and forth until rupture occurs. Third is air permeability, important for using lightweight uncoated paper on machine having vacuum pickup system. Tensile strength, the maximum tensile force per unit width that a paper or board will withstand before breaking. Tear strength, the mean force required to continue the tearing of an initial cut in a single sheet of paper. Stiffness, degree of resistance offered by paper board when it is bent. Then burst resistance, the maximum uniformly distributed pressure applied at angles to the surface that a test piece of the paper and it will stand under condition of test. So hydraulic pressure applied to diaphragm, bulging it until test piece break. So these are the references. Thank you.